guys, let's try my favorite low-calorie snack, breast implants over lemon pepper seasoning. I have to lick the implant first so the lemon pepper will stick. Okay, you guys, let's start seasoning the implant. You guys, this snack is so delicious, especially if you're trying to lose weight, so let's take it.
What in the actual...
Yes, they exist and they vote. Welcome back to another video. You're in for a wokey, humbling ride. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ready? Blast off.
Should you cut off contact with family members just because they are voting for Donald Trump? If so far they have not been able or willing to listen to compassion, to listen to kindness, to listen to you, or even to do their own research and discover that hatred's not the answer, that love and kindness is the answer, if they are unwilling to change, they must experience consequences.
I don't think we've shown so much of this psycho Jeffrey Marsh on the channel. Well, meet Jeffrey, you guys. He's a minor attracted person who claims to be non-binary but dresses like a fugly woman. Now that we've been acquainted, let's get to the video. So you should cut off your family because they are not voting an incompetent woman? I mean, go right on. It's not a loss. One less crazy relative.
How many of you guys in the audience are getting crushed by inflation right now? Raise your hand.
All of us.
Look at this.
All of us. It's a global issue.
Wait, you're being crushed by your own vice president.
It's a global issue. You understand what? Do people here understand what a vice president does? He's the president. She has to do whatever he wants her to do.
When she was asked on The View, what would you have done differently than Joe Biden? And she said, I cannot think of a single thing. So she is responsible. Joe Biden has said he delegated everything from domestic to foreign policy to her. She has been by his side every step of the way for every major decision he's made. So she should be held accountable for a record that she continues to say that they are very proud of.
Well, knock, knock. Who's there? Absolutely no one. The lights were just left on. Some people are just not very smart.
I'd be a winner, not really. Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of the thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents.
22-year-old Laken Riley was unalived by an illegal in February of this year. Thankfully, the soon-to-be ex-president Joe Biden was stuttering as he always does and had to be heckled into saying her name. And he just had to spit all that nonsense right after. Oh, Joe, you will not be missed. Rest in peace to Laken Riley. Like a good lapdog, Joe had to fix his language, and of course he did.
During your response to her heckling of you, you used the word illegal when talking about the man who allegedly killed Laken Riley.
An undocumented person. And I shouldn't have used illegal. It's undocumented. And look, when I spoke about the difference between Trump and me, one of the things I talked about on the border was that the way he talks about vermin, the way he talks about these people polluting the blood. I talked about what I'm not going to do, what I won't do. I'm not going to treat any of these people with disrespect. Look, they built the country. The reason our economy is growing. We have to control the border and more orderly flow, but I don't share his view at all.
So you regret using that word?
Yes.
Absolutely ridiculous. This is why taxpayer dollars are going into medical transitions of illegals. Or should I say undocumented? No, not gonna happen. Illegals.
Y'all, everybody keeps asking who that is in my pictures and stuff. Because, like, I'll post these pictures sometimes. Y'all, this is me in 2021. So, 3 years ago. That was me.
If anyone asks you, what's the difference between a Trump administration and a Biden administration, feel free to show them this video. You're welcome. Watch out, guys. It's a femboy or W man for Kamala. Take your pick.
You often argue against wealth redistribution and higher taxes on the wealthy. However, in the past 50 years, the wealth gap between the working class and the upper class has been growing by almost 10%, with single women, Africans, and Latinos being lower on the economic ladder, oftentimes, which you have said, are the people playing the victimization card. With these inequalities continue to grow, how can you not argue for some sort of wealth redistribution or taxes on the wealthy?
Okay, so there's a few points to be made here. One is that when you talk about the gap between the rich and the poor, these are not stable groups of people. Okay, people go from the bottom quintile to the top quintile and back down to the second quintile and back up and back down. Right? That's fairly common. This happens actually over the course of life for many people who just age in the United States. As you get older, you start to build wealth. Hopefully, you get a job, and then you grow out of that. And the reality is that if you want to escape permanent poverty in the United States, you really only need to do 3 things. I've discussed before. This is not my research. This is research from writers for The Atlantic, the Thurnstroms back in the 1980s, but it's been very well verified. You don't want to be in permanent poverty in the United States. Finish high school, get a job, don't have babies until you're married. Those 3 things, you won't be in permanent poverty in the United States.
Of course, we should get the rich citizens to pay their fair share. By fair share, they mean give everyone else their hard-earned money, like manna. Money just falls down on everyone.
So Obama, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Nancy Pelosi are all in an airplane together with the pilot. So Obama says, I'm going to throw this $100 bill out the window and make one American happy. And Hillary says, I'm going to throw $200 out the window and make 2 Americans happy. And Nancy Pelosi says, I'm going to throw 100 $100 bills out the window and make 100 Americans happy. And the pilot says, I can throw all 3 of you out the window and make all of America happy. I speak facts.
Oh wow, was she too scared to laugh? That was a neat joke. Future white Dave Chappelle, everybody. You're right, kid. You do speak facts. That's just a palate cleanser. Let's continue.
How many biological males are housed in female prisons under BOP?
Senator, I don't have those numbers in front of me today.
Why don't you?
You could look at them and get back to you.
Why don't you?
I just don't have them top of
Did you know you were going to be asked that today?
No, Senator.
Oh, you didn't? Have you been asked that before?
On the record, Senator?
Yes.
I don't recall.
You were asked a year ago in writing, and you failed to answer it in writing. You knew well you're going to be asked it today, but you don't want to answer it. Senator Lee asked, why don't you report the numbers? You don't report the numbers because you don't want people to know the numbers. So the fact that you sit there and say, I don't know, he said 1,300. Is that number in the ballpark?
1,300 as it relates to which category, Senator?
Biological males housed in female prisons.
No, that would be a much larger number.
Why are we even bending over backwards to treat criminals like hotel guests who book the highest and most expensive penthouse suite?
I confess I'm a little confused, and I appreciate the argument or discussion that we've been having, but for me it's a little too conceptual or, I don't know, metaphysical or theological or whatever you want to call it. I want to try to understand what you're asking us to do that have been much discussed. The first one is called, and I will quote from it. I put some lube on and got him on his knees. I pulled out of him and kissed him while he masturbated. He asked me to turn over while he slipped a condom on himself. And I was struggling to imagine someone inside me. He got on top and slowly inserted himself into me. It was the worst pain I think I have ever felt in my life. Eventually, I felt a mix of pleasure with the pain. Second, Mr. Cameron, tell me what you're proposing.
It's pronounced mix.
How would you like me to refer to you?
Senator, your definition of is with LGBTQ identity.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you to tell me you read those 2 excerpts.
Genderqueer.
Are you asking that only librarians and not parents have any say in whether minors can read those books? Is that what you're saying?
Boys Aren't Blue, the scene you mentioned, is about sexual abuse.
I know what it's about.
It's not
What
erotic.
would you do in terms of making the books? Would you say anybody can see them? Or they have to be in a special session?
Read books like All Boys Aren't Blue, cannot learn what appropriate.
I understand that.
They cannot learn.
I understand, but none of you want to
abuse.
answer my come here and you say censorship is bad. And of course it's bad. But the obvious response is, okay, you heard the books we're talking about. Okay, we're not talking about Catcher in the Rye. So tell me what you want, who gets to decide. And all I've heard is the librarians. And parents have nothing to do with it. And if that's your response, what planet did you just parachute in?
Parents, Senator.
Or what country, more appropriate? This is not China.
I'm not even at the sitting and I have the worst migraine. What is he even saying? Mix? They never answer a question. They just throw around words and hope we forget the question. It's not erotic. What was just read is about abuse. Wow. Okay.
So what specifically do you bring to the table to satisfy a 1 to 5%er man?
Honestly, if I had a high value man, like this man's bringing in the I'm gonna be his like, I'm gonna be completely honest, I would be his cook, clean, everything.
In order to get a high value man, you have to be a high value woman, which means you need to do things that other girls don't do. So for example, do you go out to clubs or bars?
No.
You're on OnlyFans? Doesn't matter. OnlyFans is known for that, and you're associated with it. So if you associate yourself with the wrong crowd, people are going to take you and put you in that wrong crowd, even if you're really not. So you have to continue to be a high value woman, but you can't do that if you're subscribing or having men subscribe.
There's this saying, a woman would rather be the king's concubine than be the farmer's wife. Also, what do you mean you'd be his female dog? Darling, you're already the internet's female dog. So, a Palestinian was asked how he felt about their lovely allies, the alphabet community.
LGBT support Palestine during the war. Do you see them as your allies?
عم بدعموا فلسطين هم كحلفاء لفلسطين ليش؟
Oh no, who would have thought? So no gay for Palestine is welcome. I am just complete mortified by this information.
I think this is a yes or no question. Do you support it being legal to abort an unborn child up to the moment of birth?
Senator Kennedy, it is not a yes or no question. I support women like Ms. Zarowski. Women across this...
No, ma'am, I don't. I think it is yes. Do you support a law that would allow, for any reason, unfettered discretion, the abortion of an unborn child up until the moment of birth?
No.
Dr. Verma?
Senator Kennedy, so I'm the one doctor in this room that does provide abortion care, and I can tell you that does not reflect the reality of abortion care.
I understand. I'm just asking the question.
It simply doesn't
But do you support it? There are bills before Congress that will allow that to happen. You don't support it, or are you going to not answer my question?
As the doctor in this room who does provide abortion care, that is not how abortion care in this country works. It's a hypothetical that does a disservice to our
But if a patient came to you and said, I'm going to probably have a baby this week and I've changed my mind and I would like you, doctor, to abort the child, would you do it?
That is not how abortion care in this country works.
But if a patient did, would you do it?
My job as the doctor is to look at each individual.
How about you, Doc? Would you?
I do not support unfettered abortion, and I would like to point out that if a woman did have a life-threatening condition in pregnancy past approximately 22 weeks, that baby can be delivered alive by induction or C-section, and we can try to save that baby. The intent of abortion is a dead baby, and that is not necessary, and that's...
Take notes, guys. There's answering a question, and there's looking like a dummy with a microphone.
I'm gonna make less just because I'm a woman, but also because I'm black. I mean, it's outrageous.
We're actually talking about the OnlyFans wage gap between men and women. Oh, you don't want to talk about it? Don't you think they should be paid the same? Equality.
Of course, another victim of everything in the society, but her own poor choices. Always a pleasure.
You work for the Campaign Legal Center, is that right?
That's correct.
Is your website campaignlegal.org?
Correct.
Does not the front page of your website say, I'm going to quote here, I'm going to get it right, U.S. Supreme Court is a threat to our democracy. The current U.S. Supreme Court is a threat to our democracy. Did I read that right?
What I can say is that our organization...
But is that on your website?
I am not certain exactly what's on the website.
Here it is. Mr. Payne, you retweeted the following statement. Some justices are politicians in robes who thrive in a system where access and influence are for sale. Some justices are politicians in robes who thrive in a system where access and influence are for sale. Now, that's a pretty bold statement.
I'm sorry, Senator, is that a news article?
No, sir. That's a retweet here. You tell me which justices are for sale.
I don't recall that tweet, but...
Here it is, November 21, 2022. Can you tell me which justices are for sale? Are any of them for sale?
No, the problem is that the American public has a perception that some justices
but
may be.
I'm going to establish the point first. I want to know, you tweeted this out. Do you believe that some justices are for sale? And if so, which ones?
No, Senator, I do not believe that justices are for sale.
Then why'd you tweet this out?
Can you provide more context of what that is?
I'll get you a copy, but here it is. I checked it and triple-checked it. You also said less than a month ago that John Roberts, you retweeted this out. John Roberts is a disgrace.
No, I
disagree with Justice. Well, you didn't call him Chief Justice Roberts. You called him John Roberts.
No, this is
you retweeted this.
Senator, I did not retweet that.
Yes, sir.
Well, looks like the internet never forgets. Also, if you can't back it up, don't say it. The internet has made people too comfortable with saying whatever they want and not getting socked in the face. A famous person said that. I can't remember his name. If you do, let me know in the comments. Would you like to see Tinder play out in real life?
Nice to meet you. I'm Daniel.
I'm Celeste.
How's it been going for you?
So far, so good.
All right.
Sorry.
It's cool.
I'm Celeste.
Nice to meet you. Evan.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
21?
Yeah. You?
I'm about to turn 26.
How do you feel about younger guys?
Kind of depends on the maturity level, I suppose.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your most toxic moment?
Might be just sometimes I take more than I give.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's okay. All good. But did you get rid of Xavier? You connected with him?
I just wanted to see who else was here, I guess. Because dating is like about experimenting and meeting multiple people and not just meeting one person and being done with it.
Would you like to see Xavier again?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, good shit.
Do you think he would want to go on a second date with you?
I hope so. It sounded like happy hour was in the cards.
Evan,
Yeah.
will you go ask Xavier if he would like to come back?
Of course. I'll do that. All right.
Guess we'll see what he says. It was more fun talking with you than the other guys.
Appreciate that. I do have to hit the button though.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't play second chances.
Yeah, exactly. Guess you'd be cosplaying as a childless cat lady this Halloween. Not really cosplaying, but you get the gist.
4 years to judge him by, and the country was going pretty well when Trump was in there, unlike the 4 years we've had under these two.
Well, I mean, I could argue with that too. Actually, if Trump had this economy, and I could go through all the stats, the stock market is through the roof, wages are up.
Not as high as it was under Trump.
Well, first of all, Trump inherited somebody else's economy.
That's what Barack Obama would like us to.
Well, it's true.
Okay.
It's really on day one, everything changed.
So just walk me through it. So Trump has Obama to thank for his economy, but Biden can't thank Trump for anything.
Okay. Let's get off this. Because it's not what I really...
Well, looks like you don't have the numbers after all. But you're right, let's get off it. But that's one for Megan and nil for you, Bill.
There are going to be some males in our society that will refuse to vote for a potential female president because they don't think females are smart enough to be president. We could line all those guys up and shoot them. They clearly don't understand the way the world works. Did I say that? Scratch that from the recording. I don't want the deans hearing that I said that.
Oh no, why didn't you say that sooner? Also, lecturer sir, you should see a doctor soon. Not because of your dysfunctional brain, I think you have a heart thing. You should be heaving from talking crap. Have it. The education college professors can't
normalize asking for consent before starting a heavy conversation. Hey, I wanted to talk with you about something kind of heavy pertaining to my family.
All that, y'all are gonna listen to me. Now listen, my dog got shot in the eye with a BB gun. I had to get him a dog eye patch. I went to Petco, they didn't have dog eye patches, so I had to go to Etsy and find one. And then my brother got shot.
I don't know what to say now. Here's something you probably never thought you'd see. An ex-Hamas member. To be more precise, his father is the co-founder of the group. This ex-Hamas member is in a Dr. Phil debate with an American pro-Palestine activist.
who are actually giving Hamas cover. They are participants in the crime. In fact, since October 7, I personally don't differentiate between Hamas and what's so-called Palestinians. Because actually there is no Palestinians. There are a tribe of Hamas, and there is the Islamic Jihad, and there is a tribe of and there is the tribe of Nablus, and each one has different interests and all. If they did not have Israel as the common enemy, they would kill each other. This is the reality of what's so-called Palestine.
Rhetoric?
You don't know what Palestine is. Actually, in fact, the keffiyeh that you are wearing, this is just a statement to show. And what's so-called the cause, you know, this is a human problem.
So you just...
The cause must die. I think enough is enough. And now it's proven, and you are helping, depends on the destruction of the state of Israel. And this is not acceptable, and we are not going to agree to it. And I tell you something, for the next 10 or 20 years, the Palestinian people will pay the bill that Hamas is caused today.
Is that hair I see? Well, a certain nation would have had your head for that.
Are you hoping to find a match today?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping not to continue this pattern of very, very bad men. Definitely want someone open-minded but not a freak. So you shouldn't be into feet, but you know, a little choking's a little fun. I'm tall because I'm pretty tall for an Asian girl, and when I put on my heels, I would like to still be shorter than my man. So they need to be, I think, at least 5'11". Would not want to be with somebody who wants kids within 7 years. Like, they could be the hottest person in the room, and if they tell me they're even a month younger than me, I'm just like, oh. I just see my brother, and it's like, oh, would not date my brother.
You're gonna be single for a while.
That was rude.
Shout out to Taylor Swift.
What do you think? Besides cussing at me, besides being a belligerent, what's that? See, you're walking away like you know your argument's no good.
Like she's a runner, she's a track star.
I would ask you a question. When is the latest that you have performed an abortion in terms of weeks of the unborn child?
Yes, my name is Dr. Robinson, and I provide abortion care in Alabama. So Alabama has...
What is the answer to the question, the latest that you have performed an abortion?
I'm going to answer your question. So unfortunately, my state is one of those states that has passed restrictions or bans on abortion care, which limits physicians like myself.
And therefore, in other words, you'd like to do it later. What is the latest you have performed an abortion?
So since I will always follow the law and I live in the state of Alabama, I provide abortion care up until 20 weeks gestational age.
Okay, so you performed an abortion at 20 weeks.
Yes, sir.
And the procedure for an abortion, when we're talking about at 20 weeks, as I understand it, is dilation and extraction. Have you performed abortions at that stage? And in doing so, have you had baby parts that you've had to discard or store in some capacity?
One of the things that you all have done throughout
eyes.
this hearing is just use inflammatory language.
It's a question. Ma'am, it's a simple question. Have you had human parts, baby parts, arms, legs, as a result of an abortion performed at the time you just acknowledged you performed abortions?
I am a physician and a proud abortion provider. There is nothing that you can say
yes or no
makes it difficult for me to talk about the care that I provide.
Right. So have there been baby parts, yes or no?
If you would like for me to talk to you
where and how have they been stored?
Abortion for patients who need care.
So the answer to the question is fairly obvious.
Gestational age, I'm happy
that there are baby parts, and you don't want to talk about how they're being stored. You don't want to talk about putting them in freezers. You don't want to talk about putting them in Pyrex dishes. You want to talk about the videos that we have from Planned Parenthood Gulf Coast in Houston, Texas. You don't want to talk about the reality.
For the sake of all things blue, red, and white, just answer the question.
Of all the people that Republicans could have selected, they picked Candace Owens. I don't know Miss Owens. I'm not going to characterize her. I'm going to let her own words do the talking. So I'm going to play for you the first 30 seconds of a statement she made about Adolf Hitler.
I agree. I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that definition gets poisoned by elitists that actually want globalism. Globalism is what I don't want. So when you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. He was a National Socialist. But if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. Problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize. He wanted everybody to be German, everybody to be speaking German.
All right, so my first question is to Ms. Hershinoff. Ms. Owens said, quote, if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. The problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. So when people try to legitimize Adolf Hitler, does that feed into white nationalist ideology?
So he goes ahead to give Democrats their deep desire to bash in Candace while she keeps mute. This man doesn't ask Candace anything, which is actually expected when you have an issue with a statement. So Republicans gave Candace the time to obliterate him and then some.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I would yield my time to Mr. Reschenthaler from Pennsylvania.
Thank you. Ms. Owens, I'm sorry. We just started recording. Would you like time to respond to that?
Yes, I think it's pretty apparent that Mr. Liu believes that black people are stupid and will not pursue the full clip in its entirety. He purposely presented an extracted clip.
The witness will suspend for a moment. It is not proper to refer disparagingly or to a member of the committee. The witness will not do that again. Witness may continue.
Sure, even though I was called despicable.
Witness may not refer to a member of the committee as stupid.
I didn't refer to him as stupid. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. You didn't listen to what I said. May I continue?
Please.
As I said, he is assuming that black people will not go pursue the full 2-hour clip. And he purposefully he cut off, and you didn't hear the question that was asked of me. He's trying to present as if I was launching a defense of Hitler in Germany, when in fact, the question that was asked of me was pertaining to whether or not I believed that whether or not I believed in nationalism, and that nationalism was bad. And what I responded to was that I do not believe that we should be characterizing Hitler as a nationalist. He was a homicidal, psychopathic maniac that killed his own people. A nationalist would not kill their own people. That is exactly what I was referring to in the clip, and he purposely wanted to give you a cut-up similar to what they do to Donald Trump to create a different narrative. That was unbelievably dishonest, and he did not allow me to respond to it, which is worrisome and should tell you a lot about where people are today in terms of trying to drum up narratives. By the way, I would like to also add that I work for Prager University, which is run by an Orthodox Jew. Not a single Democrat showed up to the embassy opening in Jerusalem. I sat on a plane for 18 hours to make sure that I was there. I'm deeply offended by the insinuation of revealing that clip without the question that was asked of me.
Thanks, Mrs. Owens, and I yield the remainder of my time.
Well, look at the face and shaky hands of a horrible human being. I respect it. You get what you deserve. Your mother should have taught you that.
Men do not treat ugly women the same as they treat ugly men.
Yeah, they do.
What?
They
I
treat
don't
ugly
agree.
men like... What do you mean?
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. In fact, there was a social experiment on this, which was done and just via hiring practices. They took two men, the exact same credentials. They both applied to the exact same business for an accounting firm. The handsome Chad got the job. The other guy didn't.
But they didn't do it with an
then-
ugly man and an ugly woman, did they?
Hang on. That would be the equivalent, though.
No, because that's saying that ugly people in general are treated worse, which is true.
They are.
Yeah, and ugly men are treated better than ugly women.
Prove it.
I can't prove it.
That's because it's not demonstrated.
Okay, then you prove it.
Prove what? I'm saying that it's equal, that ugly people get treated.
I'm sure you get treated the same as every other ugly guy, but women are generally treated better than men regardless. We know this.
Do you want to just restate what you were saying while I was not paying attention?
I am getting tired.
And
I don't like Andrew.
I got to ask you a question, though. This is an honest question. The seat that you're sitting on, is it broken?
But is the seat you're sitting on I mean, it's an honest question. Is the seat that you're sitting on broken? And the reason I ask is because you're super butthurt and nobody knows why. Nobody has any idea why you're so butthurt, but maybe you should just stop being such a brat and engage in the conversation.
She likes you now, Andrew.
I know you're 77 years old, but maybe you can just engage in the conversation.
She's actually 50, but same thing.
My next guest, who is Shivani Dave. She is a journalist and a presenter at Virgin Radio, just down the corridor. Good afternoon to you, Shivani.
Julia, you know my pronouns are they, them. How are you doing?
Thank you for telling me your pronouns. I use correct grammar. So the only thing I would need to refer you to is to your face would be you. But I'm not being rude. You can choose your pronouns. You can choose what you want to call yourself, but you don't get to require me to use incorrect grammar and factually incorrect things. You're not a plural. You're a one person.
She's talking to you, to your face. Why would she have to use they, them, or even she, her? These people just fish for trouble, and this time she definitely found it.
Is that him? Yes. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Did you say that my daughter is rude?
Yeah, I did. She gave me the finger.
Well, I wouldn't have done that if he wasn't being a...
Are you serious, Amelia? Well, listen, whether she gave you the finger or not, then maybe you should have gotten out of her way.
Yeah, I know. I'm old. I'm kind of slow.
So that means that you get to tell her she's rude?
Well, she's rude. She's rude.
She just called the older man an A-word right in front of you, but saying she's rude is somehow forbidden territory. That girl looks like she's about 10 years old. You should definitely pay more attention to your child. There are bigger issues, if we're being honest.
We love Matt. He's donated a lot of his hard-earned money to this podcast instead of to girls, and I think that's so different. I know, but he's just like that. He's been donating all night, and like that's cool and all, but it's just like, what's the difference between that and donating a lot of money?
Because nobody's here taking their clothes off for him for the purpose of having him.
I get that, but
I would say that's a pretty big difference.
It's a key difference.
Yeah.
I guess it's up to you to decide what. Like, you guys don't agree with that. We think that and all that shit is fine.
Do you think
so
this
is work, but I think that this is just as bad as sex work. You guys are profiting off of bringing. Because I eat it slowly. So like, I don't know. I think it's like the same thing. It's literally even though it's not the same thing.
It's literally not the same thing. Especially when you say the word literally.
Off of OnlyFans.
Especially when you say the word literally, it means it's exactly the same. So it's literally not the same thing. But let's just take literally off the table and just say this. It's not even kind of like that.
I guess.
It's kind of like it in the same way that you, I don't know, send a check to the IRS, right? Then that means that's kind of like...
Hold on, is anyone watching this with motion in their desk, or is this girl just ridiculously stupid? So this one claims she got the ick when she found her boyfriend's empty firearm.
Did you know he had a firearm?
I did.
So super weird on his part to have kidded up.
In my opinion, yes, especially because he didn't have ammo. I think if I hear a noise in the house, I'm probably going to hide or something. I don't know, or just go investigate. Like, it's your own house. It was like noon, whatever.
If you had to bluff a person, would you rather bluff them with an empty gun?
No, because if someone's actually
it's like if somebody kicked in your door, like a criminal kicked in your door to get into your house. If you could choose a gun with no ammo or nothing, wouldn't you prefer to have a gun? Wouldn't that trick? Yeah.
I don't know.
So
it was just weird to watch.
So doesn't it stand to reason then that if he had a rifle, he thought that there was a possibility if something was wrong, that would be a great deterrent if somebody saw that he had an AR-15.
I guess, but he lives like 30 minutes out in the fields. Like,
you know, that's where criminals hit most, is in rural areas.
How did you know that?
Because I live in a rural area. But yes, often in rural areas because of police response time.
It was weird to see.
When you say weird,
this is actually what we are sitting to discuss now, getting an ick to the possibility of a man protecting with a firearm, which was empty because he probably doesn't want to hurt anyone. But she got the ick regardless. Goodbye chivalry and hello feminism.
I wanted to ask and hear both of your point of views, especially towards Candace, but you know how they push the liberation agenda?
Oh, what agenda?
Liberation agenda. What's your take on the young lady who got pregnant and the man who got her pregnant tells her to abort the baby because he doesn't care for the kid and does not want to be in that kid's life? She has no family, no help. Is it best for her to get rid of the kid, focus on herself, and having a family later down the road? Because if she has that kid, that child's going to be a burden upon her.
Yeah, I could repeat it. So
I think you're
giving us a scenario of somebody who's a kid that
was
the
this
father
the Ohio
doesn't want
situation of the young lady that went to Indiana to get the abortion, or are you just talking more generally? Okay.
You're saying that if the kid was born, they would be ill-advantaged. Is that what you're asking that? And your end question is, what should they do?
What should she do? Should she just
like
get
abortion
rid of the baby?
ethic?
You know, have family.
You should absolutely choose life. It's such a scary thing to me to think.
If you're going to support something, you better stand in business. These tiny tweaks around abortion is what has made it this terrible. I mean, people are going as far as 7 to 9 months. Keep your hands to yourself, pal. Well, that is that for this video. There's definitely more where that came from, so don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'll see you next time. Peace.